This bald eagle was not on my Icy Strait Point checklist. I'll show you where I spotted her later in the video. Our day started off great that morning, as we spotted 3 seals cruising in the bay as we ate breakfast. The ship docked at the Wilderness Landing, and we departed to the port. On the left was a gift shop and restrooms. Straight ahead was the free green transporter gondolas for travel to the ocean landing. And past the gift shop was a red Sky Peak gondola for travel up the mountain. Purchasing a ticket and wristband is required. There was a welcome to Icy Strait sign outside the gift shop, but it wasn't too good looking. I knew that there was a nicer sign at the ocean landing, so I didn't check it off my list yet. My wife checked out the gift shop, and I headed to the nature trail and beach trail. This was our 6th Alaska cruise and 4th visit to Icy Strait Point. So, my wife knew her way around and would meet me later for lunch. About 3/4 of the way to the ocean landing was a split to the beach trail. On the beach, my quest was to find starfish, but I didn't find any. I did see a lot of seaweed, clamshells, and barnacles on the rocks. I got back onto the beach trail and headed to the Adventure Center. Where I found the better looking Icy Strait Point sign. Besides the Adventure Center, at the ocean landing were the other ends of the nature trail and green transporter gondola. The finish of the zip rider zip line, the Duck Point Smokehouse restaurant, the Duck Point bar, and restrooms. Heading north took me to the seawalk. The entire length of the seawalk is great for whale watching. Along the seawalk was Keat Plaza. Keat means Orca in the Tlingit language. The Orca keeps watch over the bay. I didn't see any whales that day, but remember the bald eagle earlier in the video? It was on a tree behind the Orca statue. I took dozens of photos and video because we don't have bald eagles in Hawaii. I made my way down to the beach and walked to the first pier. There I found and took photos of the barnacles on the pier pilings. I met my wife in the Cannery Museum and looked around before we had lunch. I also still needed to find an Icy Strait Point sticker for my travel mug. This doorway made for a nice framed photo. Here's a challenge for you if you're at the museum. In the storeroom display, see if you can find the X-Side battery, the Folgers coffee can, and the Shasta soda cans. Out behind the museum were the Heritage Center, ticket booth for the shuttles to the town of Huna, the donut shop and kayak center, and the Crab House restaurant. While taking in the views, I zoomed in on this point, which gave me an idea at lunch. I'll get to that in a minute. My wife and I decided to eat at the Cookhouse restaurant and ate their halibut, fish, and chips that were really good. While eating, I noticed this postcard in the napkin dispenser, and it dawned on me that the photo was probably taken from the point I mentioned earlier. A light bulb went off in my head, and I got my wife's okay to go on a side quest. I visited the nearest restroom and headed toward the seawalk out to the point. On the way, I ran across this nice-looking Welcome to Huna sign, and kayakers returning from an excursion. Before I knew it, I made it to the point. The view of the bay was fantastic. More importantly was the view of the cannery and museum. I walked back several yards, took several photos, and think I got a shot that was pretty close to the postcard. I headed back to the ship to meet my wife. The gondola line was long, so I walked back on the nature trail. I stopped in the gift shop and luckily found an Icy Strait sticker. I took some photos of the ship at the dock, reboarded the ship, and placed the sticker on my travel mug.